Hey, here at the Fort Vancouver National Historical Site. Let's go see what we got. Walking into the fort. And here's the inside of the fort. Let's take a walk around. This fort is basically a Hudson Bay fur trading fort. The fort was built basically to protect the furs in the trade industry. This area in the early 1800s was known as a joint tenancy occupancy area. Didn't belong to the United States, didn't belong to Russia, didn't belong to anybody. It belonged to the Indians. But a lot of Hawaiians moved up here to do the labor force. And one of the main trade routes was down to the Hawaiian Islands. And of course, being Hudson Bay, fur trading company, a lot of the furs went over to London. And what would any fort be without a jail? This is the jail building. Look out. It's basically just a big empty room. That's the jail. This is the counting house. Nerve center of the company operations. This is a sea route map of the fur trade. Got a glare here, but North America, Fort Vancouver, Hawaiian Islands, down around, going over to China after they left the Hawaiian Islands, and then up to Alaska, Russian Alaska. The carpenter shop.
We would have made basically whatever wood products Hudson Bay needed, you know, anything from cabinets to buildings to rolling pins, sawmills.
Here we have the corner lookout tower. Let's go see what we can see in here. Stairs going up. Ah, and cannons. This is what they can look at and see. This is the archaeological building where people are going in. And this is how you discover what's going on with the fort.
I'm going to the store. It's not a place where you buy something. This was actually a storeroom, a place where they kept things. Okay? And I told you that Fort Vancouver, all the fur from the Northwest, from this huge territory, came right here. Remember, we trapped about 700,000 square miles. All the way up to Alaska, out to the Rocky Mountains, way down in California, and out to the Pacific Ocean. And think about this. Did you guys get here on a bus today?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Back then, there weren't any buses. There weren't any roads. There weren't any cars.
All the furs.
Whatever those noisy things are, I see going across the sky. None of that stuff. If I was going somewhere, I had to walk, had to ride on the back of some kind of animal, or I was going by boat, some kind.
This is sort of like a doctor's office. Doctor resided here. Here's like the patient's rooms. Treated the sick. This is where the medicines and research books, everything were kept. Pretty neat. This was a way of getting water out of the well. He lowered the bucket down into the well there and used that big long pole to get it out. And you had to have a bakery. So that's what this is. It's called the bakehouse. This is where they made breads, biscuits, which could be called biscuits and or cookies. They did all the baking and serving, sort of like a cafeteria maybe. The two large brick-fired ovens were used primarily to produce large quantities of sea biscuits. though some bread was also baked. The sea biscuit is a cracker containing only flour and water, making it highly durable. Big house, the center of life at Fort Vancouver. If one building best represented the power and dominance of the Hudson Bay Company in the mid-19th century Pacific Northwest, it was the chief factor's house. Children's room, fold-down beds. Alright, let's check out the Pearson Air Museum now. It's the headquarters building for Pearson Field.
It was in 1905, which was the gelatin, which would be considered the blimp.
Oh, okay.
So that's the first thing that landed here. And then this is a Curtiss Pusher. This was built by a ranger and volunteers, and it took 7,000 hours to do.
Wow.
And then 6 years later would have been the DH-4, which is the first bomber. So if you look from 12 to 17, man, the planes surely did a lot of it. And then the next thing will be the mill, because we cut the wood here for the planes because we had the wood. Okay. So the Army had set up a mill of 4,000 soldiers, and we're cutting wood full time. And that was before the war broke out. Then as soon as the war broke out, the mill shut down, and they had to go to war. So you'll have how they lived, how they did all that. We have a French plane here and a German plane here. You got to go up the stairs or the elevator over in that corner. And then we have a lot of Russian artifacts from the Russian guy that landed here.
A magnificent triumph of Soviet aviation. In 19 hours, 30 minutes Moscow time, the aircraft, the Ant-25, accomplished a landing at Pearson Army Airfield in Vancouver, Washington. It was a successful completion of a heroic non-stop flight from Moscow across the North Pole to the United States of America, June 21st, 1937. It was the first flight in history to pioneer an air route from Europe to America over the North Pole. Hey everyone, hope you're having fun. I am, and you should be too.
Living room. The recreation of what John McLaughlin's living quarters would have looked like. Now, this is the whole.
Follow Mama. Got a bedroom here.